Hey guys, it's Michelle again. Today I'm going to be talking about children and how you might express trauma in different ages, such as preschool ages, infants, elementary school, adolescents, and maybe you can relate to some of this. And if you can, I'm so sorry. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on if you're feeling risky, become a member. It starts at 99 cents. You get early access to my videos, you get to pick my videos, and many more other perks. Thank you so much for watching this video as always, and enjoy. It can be very hard to tell if a child is simply upset by something that they have been through or happened, or they are traumatized. We all experience feelings of stress, but the difference between reactions to our everyday stressors and a child's traumatic stress is the reactions to trauma that interfere with daily life, impact the ability to function and affect interactions with others. The effects of trauma manifest differently from child to child, and they vary based on age and developmental level. However, a general sign that your child is suffering from traumatic stress is that they may act in a way that is uncharacteristic for them, which can be very hard because it's like you can't tell, because sometimes you just think that it's their personality. It was definitely that way for me, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate that it was just like I was the shy one. Children may exhibit signs of traumatic stress if they endure experiences like physical, sexual, verbal, or emotional abuse, including human trafficking, abandonment, neglect, and/or disorganized attachment, domestic violence, violence in the child's community, for example, school shootings, or even mass casualty events in the news, loss of a loved one, change in caregivers, serious accidents such as car accidents, medical diagnoses, events and life-threatening illnesses, natural disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, or tsunamis, exposure to substance abuse from the self or other, war, terrorism, and refugee experiences, including torture, military-related incidents or stress, such as the deployment of a parent, an absent parent, bullying, major life changes, such as moving to a new school, and trauma can vary the responses and behavioral changes, such as intense and ongoing emotional upset, including feelings of fear, terror, or under pressure, anxiety or being in a state of constant alert, depression, nightmares or trouble sleeping, changes in eating habits or lack of appetite, trouble in forming attachments or relationships, difficulty trusting you or others, difficulty concentrating or paying attention, regression or loss of skills the child has previously mastered, poor academic performance, aches and pains, pounding heart, vomiting, incontinence such as lack of bladder or bowel control, including bedwetting, substance use and abuse such as drugs or alcohol, engaging in sexual activity or promiscuity, and risky behavior. Many of these reactions can apply to children of any age. For instance, regardless of any developmental stage, a child may suffer from nightmares, feel fearful, or exhibit changes in eating habits. However, you may notice common signs of traumatic stress based on your child's age. We're going to start with very young children in the preschool era. They may cry or scream more than a typical child, feel under pressure or timid, develop new fears including anxiety when separated from a parent or caregiver, experience nightmares, wet the bed, develop poor eating habits which can result in loss or gain of weight, revert to using baby talk, recreate the traumatic experience while playing, asking questions about death or other inappropriate questions, display stunted developmental growth. So what about children in the school age, young children or elementary school? They might feel feelings of shame or guilt, feel feelings of fear, of anxiety, become clingy to adults they trust, like a parent or a teacher, having trouble sleeping, having difficulty concentrating, worry excessively about their own safety and the safety of others, get startled easily, repeatedly tell people about the traumatic event, feel afraid that the traumatic event will happen again, feel upset by minor injuries like bumps or bruises, and decline in school performance. There's many more, but these are some of the main ones. How, like, you could get very tired, or you could make more outbursts, or very shy, which in a lot of kids you can just be shy, but a lot of kids it's actually high levels of anxiety. Let me know if you guys had anxiety or you were shy as a kid. I'd be interested to know the difference. Adolescents, such as middle school and high school, may feel feelings of being depressed, feeling alone or different than anyone else, like they're going crazy, avoiding going places that bring up your traumatic memories or trauma, having trouble sleeping, taking risk-taking behaviors, develop different eating disorders such as binge eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, restricting, or bulimia nervosa, engaging in self-harming behaviors such as cutting or suicidal tendencies, talk about the traumatic experience in detail, use or abuse of drugs or alcohol, becoming sexually active or promiscuous, say that they don't have feelings about the traumatic experiences. If you're wondering how soon after a potentially traumatic experience your child would start to show these signs, some children start exhibiting signs of traumatic stress immediately after the impactful event. For others, the signs are noticeable weeks or even months later, or symptoms may manifest when the children enters a close relationship with another person. Your child's behavior changes may last for days, weeks, months, or even years. Childhood trauma recovery. What's important is to remember that these reactions are normal and expected after a child survives a traumatic experience. No matter what your child has been through, overcoming childhood trauma is possible. They have the potential for growth, development, healing, and extraordinary resilience. And you're here to help them cope, navigating the healing process and emerge happier and healthier on the other side. You're both in this together. Trauma therapy experts. Every day, children are helped to overcome the trauma that they've experienced prior to being in care of a therapist, psychiatrist, doctors, including the loss of their parents and families. Experts provide vital therapy to children and families to overcome severe trauma, relieve anxiety, and rebuild their foundation in their lives. There are many different mental health programs, trauma therapists, and services to children, families, and communities. Mothers and caregivers are trained to provide critical help to children who have been exposed to traumatic experiences. Children can be empowered when they are able to cope with their anguish through specialized trauma recovery techniques and psychological support from experts in childcare and mental health. For instance, there's different programs in many different countries that provide trauma treatment and play therapy activities for children impacted by local conflict. Children who have experienced complex trauma often have difficulty identifying, expressing, and managing emotions, and may have limited language for feeling states. They often internalize and/or externalize stress reaction. As a result, may experience significant depression, anxiety, or anger. They'll sometimes react by what they think is most appropriate. For example, if there's one loud child who's expressing their trauma covertly, the other child might be like, okay, my job is to express it covertly or quietly. Their emotional responses may be unpredictable or explosive. A child may react to a reminder of a traumatic event with trembling, anger, sadness, or avoidance. For a child with a complex trauma history, reminders of various traumatic events may be everywhere in the environment. Such a child may react often, react powerfully, and have difficulty calming down when they are upset. And this goes into adulthood, and it's hard for people to understand when you don't understand trauma. Since the traumas are often of an interpersonal nature, even mildly stressful interactions with others may serve as a trauma reminder and trigger intense emotional responses, and you might not even know why. Having learned that the world is a dangerous place where even loved ones can't be trusted to protect you, children are often vigilant and guarded in their interactions with others and are more likely to perceive situations as stressful or dangerous. While this defensive posture is protective, when an individual is under attack, it becomes problematic in situations that do not warrant such intense reactions. Alternatively, many children also learn to tune out or have emotional numbing to threats in their environment, making them vulnerable to re-victimization. Difficulty managing emotions is pervasive and occurs in the absence of relationships as well. Having never learned how to calm themselves down once they are upset, many of these children become easily overwhelmed. For example, in school they may become so frustrated that they even give up on small tasks that are presented. Children who have experienced early and intense traumatic events also have an increased likelihood of being fearful all of the time in many situations. They are more likely to experience depression as well. Children may experience dissociation. Dissociation is often seen in children with histories of complex trauma. When a child is encountered with an overwhelming and terrifying experience, they may dissociate or mentally separate themselves from the experience. So let me know if you guys could relate to any of this and how you saw it as a child, anything that I missed out. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on if you would like to, and become a member. I appreciate all of you so much. You have no idea, and I appreciate you. And take care. Bye.